So yeah, there are a handful of other websites out there that get users access to many models from many companies all in one place. There's one in particular that I have an interesting anecdote on. It's POE.com. So you go there, you sign up for an account. It's a credit card subscription, of course. And you get access to all the latest, greatest models. But they also have this thing, it's called the Creator Monetization Program. So people can create their own little AI bots or agents and then serve them on Poe and potentially monetize. Every time a user on Poe, runs a query, the creator might get 1 or 2 pennies, something like that. With this creator monetization program, I looked into it, and actually, PPQ is actually a creator on Poe right now. They only accept creators from 20 countries because the fintech architecture only supports customers from 20 or so countries. So they're basically limiting the amount of potential creators that can kind of build into their own ecosystem. What PPQ is going to try to do, and this is a very hard battle that we're dealing with other companies that have way more money than we do, but when you build on crypto and Bitcoin in particular, you can do so in a very permissionless way where when I am a creator on Poe, I have to register my business with Poe, I have to have a Stripe account, and I have to be a part of one of those 20 countries. But PPQ, if we build some developer documents and we tell creators how to make, what types of chat tools, AI tools that we're looking for, anybody in the world can build a cool tool, serve it on PPQ, and just put it behind a Lightning paywall, and we will just send payments to it. We don't need to know their name, we don't need to know what country they're living in, they don't have to register their business with us. They can be living in somebody's basement, and as long as their tool is useful, we will just fire payments to them every time one of our users runs a query. And so crypto, not only on the consumer side, increases access, but also on the creator side, also really opens up the ability of who can build something.
For me, again, this is why we are building this space out, is to open access. I think that is just so important. People are like, is AI better for the world? Is Bitcoin better for the world? And for me, it's if it can add more access, if it can lower the barrier to entry, then obviously yes. And why? Because that's math. That's how math works. Easier to enter means more people, means more value. Maybe that's oversimplification, but I really do feel that is extremely important. If only people living in 20 countries, 10% of the countries on the planet, can create AI agents and monetize them on, X website fueled by credit cards, that is holding back a lot of people. That's 90% of countries that cannot participate in this information technology. So the fact that without permission, people in all of those places can use Bitcoin and now be tapped in, I think that's absolutely huge. And that's a big reason why the Human Rights Foundation in particular is very interested in, we're obviously very interested in Bitcoin. We see the power of AI and we think that it offers a lot of leverage for activists, but the access portion of that is not always guaranteed. And so solutions like PPQ, which have the best in AI and the best in Bitcoin, is very exciting because it removes the barriers that maybe we don't see, but truly exist for a lot of people who are struggling right now. And part of what HRF is fighting for is those people that don't have access, and those people who get cut off from access easily because they're living in a dictatorship. So again, this is why I'm interviewing Matt, because him building this solution is very exciting, because having an activist being able to spin up a website for their cause using AI quickly is amazing, but not if that lands them in jail because they use DeepSeek or whatever. Or even someone in the US, it's not that hard to see a world where Sam Altman is talking about your queries can land you in jail, and maybe there's a political establishment that is opposed to what you're querying about, There's a lot of danger in not having privacy and security with how we use AI. And it's not crazy to see how it can make its way even to free countries. So this technology built on Bitcoin, enabling the best AI models, I think it's underrated, truly. But it's important that this kind of like marriage happens. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, the privacy thing is huge. It's going to be increasingly, I think, apparent to people as we all like use AI more and more in our daily lives. We're going to be feeding in more and more data about ourselves into AI, and we will start seeing the repercussions of that over time. And so it's very important to have the ability to look into these things, to experiment with AI, to use it to increase productivity, to help be your therapist, to help your financial planner, whatever. Use it in a way that only you know the information that's in the system. We live in a very surveilled world, an increasingly surveilled world, and it is, honestly, I think it is a long shot. Like I think that there's a lot to be afraid of going into the future here, but the things that Bitcoin brings forward are, maybe there is some way that we can continue to have access to these things while still maintaining privacy and sovereignty and things like that. So yeah.
So Matt, I want to open up to questions from the audience, but I want to ask you one last question before we do so. What is next for PBQ and what are your ambitions?
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very difficult to just keep up with the latest and greatest AI stuff. So we're constantly, like on a daily basis, trying to ship new models. Every day there's a new model that's launched or a new tool that's launched. So just doing that alone is very difficult, but we're getting better at streamlining that. Aside from that, we want to continue having an eye on privacy and building it in a way that respects people's privacy. And then, lastly, just taking a shot at building out that kind of creator economy where people from all around the world can build a tool. We'll serve it up on PBQ. We'll also try to distribute it to other websites as well. And hopefully start that flywheel spinning and possibly there's a small chance that all of these agentic payments could be on Bitcoin rails in the future. It's a hard battle, but it's like the shot that we're going to be taking. So
awesome. All right, we got some eager questions. Go for it.
Hello. All right. Here we go. So just I guess a comment first and then a question. One, I think it's great. I think because we always talk about rising costs of energy, and these data centers are going to get more expensive to power and to keep on. So I think it's great because you seem to kind of tap into both sides of it, and that you're connected to Bitcoin with the hash rate, and eventually energy, the drive for energy will be to make it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And with AI, it might become more expensive, more scarce, right? So I guess that was my comment. My question is, do you see it as a headwind or a tailwind, the rising cost of data, and how are you guys positioned to kind of benefit or at least kind of capitalize or weather the storm? I don't know how you see it.
yeah, I think both Bitcoin, mining Bitcoin is tremendously energy intensive, and so is training AI models. But the bottom line is that both of these things are delivering tremendous value. And so I don't think that energy is going to get particularly insanely expensive. I think we're just going to get better at creating energy. So I'm not so worried on that front. But my only thing is I think that the energy consumption of these things demonstrates their value.